My name is Susan Fenton, and I am the Assistant Dean for Academic Affairs here at the School of Biomedical Informatics. You'll notice you have a different name on your slides up here. Our Dean is Dr. Jiajie Zhang, and he asked me to send his apologies. He is out of town at a long-planned conference and so could not be here because we had to reschedule from January. But he very much wanted to be here and had planned and was here in January. He was actually in the office when we weren't, when all the ice was out. So welcome from him also. I did want you to see his name. He is our dean and very much supports our efforts working with the library. So who are we? Who is the School of Biomedical Informatics? There are a lot of different biomedical informatics programs in the United States. We are the only program in Texas. We are the only freestanding school of biomedical informatics in the United States, and we're one of the largest in the country. So right here in the medical center, we have something that is fairly unique. We have multiple missions. Obviously, we want to educate and train future scientists and professionals in biomedical informatics and health information technology. So we have both research tracks and applied tracks. We obviously have a lot of faculty who conduct informatics research into a wide variety of areas. You're going to hear from most of them today. So be ready. The deluge is coming. You're drinking from the fire hose. And we develop and use advanced informatics tools. So our faculty actually do develop tools. We have some tools that are being commercialized right now from some of our faculty. And some of our alumni actually have started their own businesses with different informatics tools. So y'all know we're in the Texas Medical Center. You know where our building is. You found us. We are one of 6 schools at the University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston. We are the smallest school, but we are growing. And you're going to see why we're growing in just a little bit. So this is what we call the UT Health Informatics Consortium. I really like the, over on the left there, it gives you what we're talking about when we're talking about the full range of biomedical informatics. So we start with everything from the molecule all the way up to your population and public health, and everything in between. So the individual, the genes. So a broad range of data and data uses is what we're including when we talk about biomedical informatics. And then you can see the different sub areas. So Zhang is already here. He's going to be your next speaker for bioinformatics. Probably the only one that we don't really have strongly here at our school right now is the imaging informatics. Everything else we have in conjunction. So we have a public health informatics certificate in conjunction with our School of Public Health. We certainly have the clinical informatics. So we work together with everyone. One of my favorite quotes that I didn't put on a slide for you is from Dr. Daniel Masis, who talks about 2 business processes in healthcare, one of which are the procedures to diagnose, treat, and prevent disease, and then there's the collection, use, and storage of information. So informatics is really half of the battle. We are a member of the UT system with all the different schools. We are in the process of implementing a UT system-wide informatics initiative. It's being led by us. We're reaching out to the other UT components. We have online education, so we're taking our education out to them, and we're also working on research projects with them, and again, developing the applications. So you can see it covers a broad swath of Texas. So our faculty, we have 22 regular faculty. This is Dr. Zhang right here, our dean, and we are hiring. We have openings and are actively interviewing and hiring more faculty. 65 adjunct faculty. So a lot of them from other schools, from industry, and a fair number of them are our alumni. So what does our education look like, our academic programs? You can see we have certificates. We have what we call the applied certificate. That would be for your people who are actively working in healthcare and want some informatics education to help them as they're trying to implement health information systems. So again, very applied. We have the traditional, which is more research oriented, so typically we'll find people coming into that one who are currently working maybe in some of the research labs around the Texas Medical Center, and they're having to work with data, and they feel like they need some additional education in working with the data. And then of course the public health one through, in conjunction with the School of Public Health for people who are interested in public health informatics. We have a master's degree with 2 tracks. Again, the applied for those who are working in the organizations with the health information technology, and the traditional or research for people who are, again, working in the research labs, and our Ph.D. And the SCH is semester credit hours. So that's what the SCH stands for. International collaborations, you can see we're reaching out all over the world, and we're expanding that. And we offer continuing education, such as what we're doing for you, where we do short courses. Yesterday we got an email from the AHEX wanting a one-day course for high school students on this field. So we're trying to broaden our reach. Our fall 2013 enrollment, you can see by far the majority of our students are our master's students, even outstripping our certificates. And we currently have 30 PhD students. So for a PhD program, that's actually a nice size cohort. The majority of our students are part-time, 39 of them are full-time. Most of our students are working professionals who are coming back for a second career. Just a little bit about the student profile. Again, you can see most of them are Texas residents. We're now majority female, so probably standard everywhere. And a little bit of our numbers, you can see our online masters is growing a lot. There's a huge demand in this field, and people need to get the education where they can. A lot of them can't afford to come to Houston. Where do our people go? Obviously, our PhD graduates, by and large, go into academia. We do have one who's she's now an executive vice president at St. Luke's. And then our master's graduates go all over. The CMIO at Harris Health, the CMIO at MD Anderson, at Memorial Hermann, they're all graduates out of our program. So we have them spread throughout the Texas Medical Center. As you might expect, Texas residents were very cost competitive, so that's a drawing factor. Why? Why are we growing? Why the big draw here and our enrollment is growing? Because demand in this field has tripled in the last 3 years. Okay? And literally, I myself did a study here in Texas in 2011 that said Texas would need 10,000 additional HIT workers by the end of 2013. And all of our programs combined in Texas at that point would have generated 2,000 people in that time frame. So we had a deficit of 8,000. So they've got to come from somewhere. So then you have people who don't have the knowledge and the skills doing the jobs simply because someone has to do something. Research, our trends in informatics, our big data, mobile health, and preventive medicine. So game changers, economical game changers in the US, big data. So, and of course that's the hot word, right? Whether it's really big data or it's not real big data, everyone's saying it's big data. But this will get your attention. So today we process more in a single day than a person in the 1500s in their entire lifetime. Okay? You want some more things? 5 exabytes of data. That was everything created by humankind from prehistory to 2003. It's the DVDs from Houston to Orlando, created in 2 days in 2011. Any guesses for how long in 2013? Okay, and accelerating, not staying stable, not decelerating. So when we talk about data and we talk about big data and we talk about the need to be able to use it effectively, it's a very serious issue. We're drowning. So healthcare data, in 2012, 150 exabytes, or 30 times that created by humankind up to 2003. 43,000 Libraries of Congress, and the distance around the Earth in the DVDs. And we're not using it as effectively as we should or could to help healthcare. A lot of things big data can do in healthcare. It can help us with comparative effectiveness research, so what's the most efficient and effective ways to deliver care. It can help us provide care better in the form of clinical decision support. It can help us with remote patient monitoring. So they're developing houses now where you can track the people. You can get the watches now that can, your sleep, your pulse, pedometer, everything included. Obviously, it can help us with our quality and performance measures. How are we doing? Not just within our own institution, but across the country, comparing ourselves to others. Discovery, and Jim and the other researchers will talk about some of the discovery. Personalized medicine, so understanding why Lipitor only works for half of the population, okay? So the genes, that type of thing. The pharmacovigilance, so can we use big data to discover the unintended consequences of the different medications before we release it out to the public? And then obviously public health surveillance and response, and I'll talk about that a little later today and some of the things that have been done with that. The future of informatics, obviously next generation genomics, so we've mapped the human genome. What comes next? Mobile internet, we all participate in that, right? Cloud technology, and automation of knowledge work. So how much of what we currently do as knowledge workers that's going to be automated, and where do we take the next steps? 2 million data workers needed by 2018. Okay, so if you know how to live and work in this space, you won't be without a job. I've actually seen that number. So this is McKinsey and Company, and I want to say I saw a Gartner number that was 4 million. Okay. So a lot of opportunity if you know how to work with data and information. And that is the end of my overview. Again, I want to say welcome. Are there any questions before I introduce Jim and he gets started? Okay, well, thank you very much.